I think that there's a great deal.
Remember biology class?
This week there's been several.
Too often it was a place to get turned off to science, not turned on. But think what it would have been like if this was the classroom.
We're 165 feet and it's 6.
This is where dozens of lucky high school students studied biology and other sciences for a whole week this summer with scientists from NOAA's National Undersea Research Center at the University of Connecticut at Avery Point.
All right.
It's called the High School Aquanaut program, and with the help of sophisticated technology, including submarines, it provides kids with a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
6.5 degrees, no, 6.
The state-of-the-art equipment you see behind me is the kind of high-tech gear that most of us would only expect to see in a James Bond movie. But today, this equipment is an important part of a remarkable program that is bringing students and teachers together with some of the world's leading scientists in a sea of discovery. Hello, my name is Patxi, president of Scuba Guides International and the Institute for Applied Marine Science Education, and I've had the privilege of traveling with these underwater explorers as they journey to the bottom of the ocean.
This is the vehicle that took them on their adventure, the Johnson Sea Link 2, a 4-man submersible able to take you 3,000 feet below the sea.
This submarine is capable of going to 3,000 feet, carrying 4 people. This compartment in the back is capable of being pressurized to ambient pressure, so we can put a diver outside of this compartment without letting water come inside the compartment. Meantime, we have all of our life support equipment here. These meters tell us our percentage of carbon dioxide and a percentage of oxygen that are in the chamber at the present time. We control that through a flow meter, which replaces the oxygen that we're breathing. And we have a CO2 scrubber in the back half of the compartment that removes the carbon dioxide that we produce.
A chance to use this technology would be a real treat for most anyone. But for the high school kids in the Aquanaut program, it's an experience that changes their lives.
Kind of see how big it is.
It was a very nice ride. It was very nice. You look out the window, it's just extraordinary when you see all this stuff that nobody else or a lot of other, many people have not seen. It's just extraordinary.
It was a lot like what I expected it to be. It was a lot more colorful. I had seen the videos from last year, and it looked very much like the videos, only it was a lot prettier.
Wow.
The colors were really, there were like rock walls just covered with algae that were bright reds and oranges and yellows, and the water like just glowed green. It was really pretty.
You see a lot of it on TV, you know, on the educational channels, but it's nothing. It's like a dream. It's incredible.
I was excited just to get down there. It was, you know, being down there with the fish. Fish are swimming right by you is awesome.
Their enthusiasm is hard to hide.
You can just see the excitement in their eyes. They don't know quite what to say. The pilot yesterday was commenting on the one girl that was in here. All she could do was start giggling when the dive was over. She was so excited.
And it's infectious.
I come away stimulated myself. You know, here I have an opportunity to dive and to work with the kids on individual projects, and for me it's exciting as an educator, and it's something that, well, it turns you on. It gets you involved again. It sort of lights your fires again, and it makes teaching exciting and stimulating again.
Most importantly, the excitement and enthusiasm is carried back to the classroom.
The change in my classroom has been quite dramatic. I've been able to incorporate ideas and thoughts and experiences that I've had in situations like this, bring them into the classroom, and that in turn has turned kids on.
These kids aren't here just for the sightseeing. They are chosen on the basis of a proposal they submitted, an idea for an experiment geared to teach the scientific method that they themselves can conduct utilizing one of the world's most sophisticated submersibles.
It's not a frivolous activity. This is something which is meaningful. The students are doing significant research here. This is not just fun diving. This is not where you go aboard a submersible, go down, wave at the fishes, and come back up. This is the real thing. These kids are really tackling some critical problems dealing with the ocean.
And it's a learning experience for the scientists, too.
I think one thing that's exciting about working with kids is that they're not, they're not your peers professionally. And so they ask innocent but intriguing questions. and they make you stop and think about what you're doing and why.
There's a lot of redefining that goes on during a trip like this, and most everyone agrees they're surprised by how they redefine their images of students, teachers, and scientists.
I just expected a bunch of old men with gray hair sitting around a table staring at something under a microscope or something. And it's not like that at all. They're just a lot of fun to be around. They're not all stiff and white collar like I expected.
You get to see kids on an informal level, you know, eating dinner with them, you know, having to share a room with them, and then diving the next day. It's a real experience that for both teacher and student, it's real positive.
To show the kids that teachers are real people, they're not really any different than they are. It's just to bring everyone to a common ground and to really get an even exchange and a respect level amongst the three groups, the scientists, teachers, as well the teachers between the scientists as well. There's also an exchange going on there. They're learning a lot from each other as well.
I see them more as peers than teachers now.
It's hard not to change your view of someone after spending a week on a boat with them, but it's also hard not to change your perception of science.
They're in a really formative stage in their lives, and this could change their lives. I've seen it happen with last year's group that went through. There was one individual who had interest in liberal arts and sciences, and after diving in the Delta is now going to be an engineer.
The students in this program are very good at kind of getting the scientists themselves fired up again into what teaching is.
It made me think that it can be fun without being all work and paperwork and stuff like that. You can have a lot of fun too. I enjoy the hands-on work and getting all mucky and dirty.
He certainly does not want to move, that's for sure.
The experience also sparks new enthusiasm among the scientists.
We've got to not only see the enthusiasm of students as they come up through, but also see our own enthusiasm starting to well up again.
Enthusiasm for education is really the bottom line here. It's obvious a week on a research vessel is a lot more fun than a week in the classroom, and some people think they learn a lot more. On top of that, the information these kids are getting is a lot more up to date.
High schools are about 10 years behind colleges as far as teaching current information.
The classroom has become a very, very, in my estimation, somewhat of a stagnant tool for teachers.
This kind of motivation is not being taught in the high schools. It's not the type of thing that leads itself in the classroom instruction.
These types of experiences will help to restore the reputation of the U.S. in the world scientific community by inspiring bright young minds to actively pursue careers in science.
I think it's been fairly clear over the last 10 years, 5 to 10 years, that the status of the United States' science program has been declining. We see this in the college level and certainly also in the high school level. We really need to get students, both high school students, college students, and our general populace, our general citizens, really more interested in what science is and how it affects their day-to-day life. There's no question that today in the United States there's almost a crisis in science education, and this program addresses that type of crisis. There's also no question that there's really a crisis in research funding in this country at this time. There just are not enough research funds available to keep all the scientists essentially going at full capacity and really putting our country back ahead to where we should be in the scientific community.
But it's a fact. Not every student who participates in a program like this one will go on to be a scientist. And that's okay, because all of them emerge with a heightened awareness of what's happening in our environment.
We're destroying our planet gradually, and these kids are being bombarded with all these environmental and social issues that it's changing their life, and 20, 30 years from now it could change it even more. The sooner they become aware of it, the problems that we have, the sooner we can correct them and have this planet for future generations. It's that serious.